current society has got us all so distracted, so addicted to distraction. And love requires connection. Opening our hearts to love and opening our hearts to God are very, very similar. It's basically the same thing, just on two slightly different levels. One is to a person, the other is to God. But it's the same movement. It's the same movement of, instead of identifying just as this physical being, I'm prepared to expand. I want to expand. I want to melt, to merge, to swim, to drown. Because that's more important than this death grip I've got on my identity. But it requires attention. And these days, with our attention being so constantly diverted, literally with every beep and bling and bing and whatnot of the devices, we're not even there with each other. We also have the other dilemma, particularly for this generation that's 20s and 30s, is because you've been raised with social media, there's this illusion of connection where there actually isn't connection. And so a lot of people don't even realize that they're missing real love. Because we've been sort of indoctrinated to believe that a text message, an emoji, comment on Facebook or Instagram or whatever it may be, that is what love looks like. And we forget the importance of actually sitting in each other's presence, actually looking in each other's eyes, actually speaking on the telephone. And so you've got a generation of people for whom the world is seen through a screen. And that screen keeps us from actually connecting on a deep level. But it gives us such a constantly activating illusion of connection that we think we're there. 5,000 friends, I'm super popular. Like, what else do I need, right? Wrong. But that's the illusion. You see so many people sitting on the banks of Ganga in the Aarti. And I'm sure other times that's the time that I'm noticing people down there. And in the midst of these extraordinary experiences they're having, it's all about, well, let me, here I am live in Aarti. Selfie with Aarti. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. But you can be sure that if I'm doing that, I'm not actually present there on the deepest level. If I'm adjusting a screen to make sure that I'm coming into the right quadrant of it, and I'm figuring out which tags and hashtags need to go with this, I'm not fully there. And again, there's nothing wrong with the phone. There's nothing wrong with selfies. But we have to make deeply sure that we know when is the time to just connect? And when is the time to broadcast something? And we need to be sure to give ourselves those experiences of connection, rather than thinking that because I was live at Aarti, and dozens or hundreds or thousands, depending on who I am, of people liked it or commented, that somehow that was a valid experience I had. Love requires reality. Love is messy. It's real. As is spirituality. Because it's the same thing. Here I am meditating, live meditating from the banks of Ganga, right? Well, if I'm filming myself, chances are I'm not going very deep in my meditation. Puja Swamiji says it very, very beautifully. He says, nothing wrong with going on Facebook. He says, but you've got to remember to face your book. And we forget to actually look at ourselves. And love requires a drop down. And so the first piece, first most important step is create space in your life for it. And the second piece is be willing. So create literal space first, actual space first. And the second piece is be willing to let go of who you think you are. Because love is going to show you something